Alright, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the second Dubai Sevens semi-final. This one, New Zealand taking on the Fijians, what many consider as one of the best rivalries, if not the best, in the world of sevens, an illustrious history between these two sides, and they find themselves going head-to-head again in the Dubai Sevens semi-final. Looking through at the starting lineups for the Kiwis, it is Rob Rush, Tony Nshu, Dylan Collier, also Notoa Tipo, who did score himself a try in the last match up against the Spanish. Brady Rush, Akulia Rokalisoa, and Frank Vainuku did get himself, I believe, two. And that Spanish fixture for the Fijians, Josefa Talatholo, Sevo Mothonothangi, Jeremiah Matana, Vuiviwa Nadovalo. He got himself two tries in the opening contest in Dubai. George Balsi and Waisia Natongu, the last man. And the starting side, these two sides, they will be back and forth. It will be physical. It will be intense. And whoever wins this game will face the Australians in the Dubai Sevens final. Whoever loses, well, they will go head-to-head up against the French. And they'll be playing for the bronze. But for New Zealand, so far, they are undefeated. The only side to stay undefeated from their first three matches. 21-14 over Great Britain. 21-17 over Australia. And they're beating the Spanish 24 points to the 7. Fiji, they started off with a great win over Argentina by the 7 points, 26-19. They beat South Africa by 18 in their second group stage fixture and just recently lost to the French. Now, because of that French loss, it did mean that they found themselves up against New Zealand here in this matchup rather than playing someone like an Australia in the semis. How short are these games? I was just settling into watching Australia versus France, then it was over. The sevens just goes very quickly. Before you know it, you blink and you miss a try. That is how quick this game can go about. Definitely when these two sides play, we'll see a try in 30 seconds if someone's not careful for this matchup. But we are now underway in this contest. Ready to go. Semi-final. It is the equivalent of a final when these two sides play. And it's kicked off high, nicely taken by Akulia Rokalisoa and tackle made afterwards by George Balsi. New Zealand currently inside of their own 22, thought about the wide cutout pass, but instead goes with the short pass into the hands of Rob Rush. Sevens equals stamina is not an issue for these games, says Martin, and with the heat that they are playing in and the humidity as well, we're starting to see a few sides start to slow down a little bit. Tony Nshu gets the offload to Akulia Rokalisoa, breaks through one challenge, but tackled by Filippo Bukayaro. He's had a solid enough tournament in Dubai thus far. Now New Zealand cutting back inwards, bumping off one, but Frank Vainuku ends up dropping that ball now in the hands of Fiji. Such a beautiful, clinical offloading game from this Fiji side. Sevo Mothonothangi hits it up. New Zealand in the breakdown. Look for the steal, but they give away the penalty. Now we have that Fiji baby. Says Dylan there, and go Fiji, go. Says Isimeli. And Ayo says Kashur. And then let's go to the AB, says Dale. The semi-final records. Fiji have won 59% of their semi-finals played with a total of 86 wins. New Zealand have won a total of 111 semi-finals, winning 69% of the time. Now, let's be honest here, if this was in 80 minutes, it would be much worse. Absolutely. If these games were 20 minutes, like the old school finals were, the players would just be absolutely exhausted by the end of it. Akhtar said sorry to TKL. But I'm going for Fiji. Well, in my preview, I did predict Fiji to win by 2. But then I got scared and decided to switch it and say that either of these sides to win by 2. But I'm going 19-17 as the score prediction for either of these teams. Josefa Talafolo around the halfway line now. Sevo Mothonothangi again going across to the left. Good defence at the moment from New Zealand, not allowing those gaps. Mothonothangi, another skip pass out wide. George Balsi has shown some real skill. Vuiviwa Nadovalo, pace for days from the Fijian speedster, and he will score it between the posts to start off this contest with a try for Fiji. And it's exactly what he did in the opening contest up against the Argentines as well. He got himself 2 tries in that matchup. And it is a nice, easy one for the conversion as well. I mentioned about that, something that Fiji have been doing so well throughout this competition is when they get a line break and score, they manage to score it between the posts, making it an easy tap over for the man off the kicking T2. But now 7-0 in favour of the Fijians after the first couple of minutes of this fixture. New Zealand have to try and come back from behind. Vuiviwa Nadovalo, he's had 76 tries, debuted in 2022, and he has been such an asset for this Fijian team. I got the waving from Robert there too. Hope you are doing extremely well. Now kicked off by the flying Fijians, taken by Dylan Collier, who just takes it to ground. Smart play from the All Blacks veteran. Now, loose ball. Collier Rokalisoa puts in the fend. He's trying to find a gap here. He's running sideways, just out from their own line, New Zealand. But this is where they're so dangerous. They can create a counter-attack from anywhere on the field. Big bump off from Frank Vainuku. Breaks through too. He's got a Kulia Rokalesoa with him as the Fijian speedster once again. Vuiviwa Nadovalo almost manages to get back and cover. But a Kulia Rokalesoa, he scores the next try in this contest. It is back and forth, and it's an easy 7. As they have scored right between the posts as well here in New Zealand. These two sides, they are smart. They are lethal on attack. And this is going to be a great game. Already I can tell. 4 minutes in, back and forth, full field tries, being scored, spicy games. There's Jasmine, absolutely I'm okay. It's 5:30 a.m. here. It's a nice early morning start. Now we have got there, Savaya is in there, going for Fiji, and the ABs, let's go, says Dale. The ball put down by Kuria Rokalesoa. And Gospel Fiji go, says Gian there. And go Fiji go, says Tupo. And that kick has gone over from New Zealand, making the score 7-all now after the 4 minutes have passed. This is still absolutely anyone's game. And I do think the impact players for the Fijians, the likes of a Filippo Bucayaro, or sorry, not Filippo Bucayaro, Tereo Tamani, off of the bench can be an absolute game changer. He's done it up against New Zealand before, so they will not be counting their chickens before they hatch, although that is a gift. Or no, is it? No, it's called as backwards. Looked like it was going to be a knock-on from Fiji, but it is called as play on inside of their own 22, so they'll be very happy to be able to continue attacking here. Josefa Talatholo running it sideways. Looks for the offload. Awkward bouncing one for Vuiviwa Nadovalo. Tackled low by Rob Rush. Was it off the hand? Yes, it was. Came off Tony Nyashu's forearm. Now Fiji will have themselves a scrum 22 metres out from their own try line. Looks like there's a bit of an injury here, and it looks like a bad one. I want to say it's one of the Rush brothers by the looks of that reaction, because we do see, I want to say that that's Brady Rush going over to his brother Rob Rush here. The referee has just stopped the game. This doesn't look too good here. I think it's Rob Rush. I think that was Brady going over to him, his brother. Now, that was Fiji Sevens are so strong here, but they're so bad at rugby union men's game. They're not too bad at rugby union, to be fair to the Fijians. Like, they've done all right in some of their matches recently, but no, it is tough being able to convert, and I think it's because of the fact that when they play in the union side of things, they have to play more structured rugby, and that doesn't suit the natural Fijian flair that we do see very often in the game of sevens. It's 10:34 here, says Raider. Right, I don't think we're going to see a replay of this injury, which makes me think it was something relatively serious. The fact that they don't like to show replays of those ones that look quite bad. 7-all at the moment between these two sides after the 5 minutes in this contest. We have then our Fijian 15s is pretty good. Our top 8 is not bad, says Dylan. Yeah, they hopefully will get a decent Rugby World Cup draw as well. That is coming up in only about 3 days' time. We will be covering the draw live on the channel, so be sure to tune in. That will be at, I believe, 10 p.m. Fijian time, but it is definitely worth staying up for to find out exactly who the Fijians will be playing just around the corner. They're just showing the highlights of the tries. We've seen Akulia Rokalesoa as well as Vuiviwa Nadovalo as the 2 try scorers at this point in time. Rokalesoa, such a dangerous member of this New Zealand side. It's a relatively long stoppage here, which is always a bit of a concern for the player. Yeah, I do believe it is Rob Rush. They've got a couple options off of the bench here for New Zealand. They've got Sione Molia that they may look to in this scenario. They've also got Kili Lasanga, who is an absolutely phenomenal talent. But yeah, they've got the stretcher out for Rob Rush here, so not what you want to see in this game. Now we have got there, and they compete with them in the sevens. Says Martin, and Fiji was struggling to beat the All Blacks. Says Martin, and beat England in 2023, says Studs Race. Yeah, that was at Twickenham, wasn't it? They were able to get themselves their victory there, but they are just showing the next game, Spain versus South Africa. That is taking place in 2 hours, 30 minutes time. That is the next one that we are covering, I believe, on the channel. Hi from Brazil. Let's go the All Blacks, says Yao there. Welcome in. But yeah, an unfortunate stoppage here has halted the action, but the final of this contest. I will mention whoever wins, they will go on to face up against the Australians. That game will be taking place at 5:11 a.m. New Zealand time. And then the bronze medal final, whoever loses this game, they will face France. That is taking place at 4:03 a.m. New Zealand time. So still a little while until those matches. 4 hours 30 or so till that bronze final. 5.5 hours until the men's final as well. And then the women's final, that is taking place just prior, I believe. See just that intensity between these two sides, though, that physicality. What is surprising that South Africans are good at rugby union right now. They are bad at the sevens game, says Martin. And everyone struggles to beat the All Blacks, says Big Rig. And go the All Blacks, says Gian there. But we are getting the round of applause from the crowd, which I believe means he is up on the stretcher at this point in time. But hopefully nothing going to be too serious there for Rob Rush, although it did not look good from first reactions. And the fact that his brother went straight over to him, I feel like that was probably to try and keep him calm. Now just talking to Regan Ware on the sideline. Just saying there about it being 7-all. I thought that he was actually playing in this squad, Regan Ware, but I guess he was in the extended selection rather than the actual team that get put onto the field. He has scored 131 tries throughout his career. Anyone who is just tuning in now, we have still got that stoppage, just getting the player who was injured off of the field, and then we'll be straight back underway for more of the sevens action. Next game that has taken place is Argentina versus Great Britain. That is just around the corner, but 2.5 hours until Spain versus South Africa. It's going to be a very entertaining fixture. Definitely because South Africa could either go out there and absolutely win by a massive amount, 5K on New Zealand, says Fork. Was that at the start of the game or at this stage? Fork, do let me know, because I know at the start of the game they were $3 underdogs. They're currently $2.25 underdogs in this scenario, but it is going to be the scrum feed for Filippo Bucchiaro and the Fijians. We are now back underway. Go Kiwis, be the retribution, says Ruby. And the thing is, in the women's side of the draw, New Zealand versus Australia is the confirmed final. So the question is, can we see it for the men and the women, or will Vuiviwa Nadovalo again cause New Zealand all sorts of problems, offloading to George Balsey there? It's a risky pass, but it works out. Rush defence from New Zealand does not work in this scenario. 50 metres out from the line. Fiji looking for that next passing option. Balsey cutting back onwards, finds the offload knocked on by Vuiviwa Nadovalo. Referee almost does his ankle there. But it is going to be the scrum feed for New Zealand. Start of the game. It's probably, wouldn't have been a bad shout. Like the last time that these two sides played, New Zealand were able to win. I think before that, Fiji were on a little bit of a streak up against the Kiwis. I placed $1,000 on New Zealand to win before the start of the game, says Martin. And New Zealand there from Dale. Filippo Bucchiaro trying to get that big skip pass going. New Zealand have done very well, and they've almost worked out that Fiji are going to be looking for that offload. These two sides very familiar with each other. They've played multiple times. But plenty of offloads coming yesterday from Fiji as well, the most out of any side. That ball, I think, is going to be out the tunnel, says the ref. Close to a scrum steal from the Fijians. Not a good bet, says Dylan. No way Fiji can win this, says Martin. And go Fiji, go, says Mere. And they had a tough game to close out their day yesterday, the Fijians. They did lose to France. New Zealand, they are sitting undefeated at this point in time. And get a try, New Zealand, says Jasmine. I'm looking fresh on a Sunday, Hamish, says Ruby. Yeah, it's currently almost midnight here in New Zealand. And somehow I'm wide awake. I only managed about 4 hours sleep yesterday, which was actually not a bad amount for a weekend of sevens, as well as URC, international rugby and everything. Big Fen there, close to the sideline, offloading, nicely done to Akulia Rockley. So, in fact, that couldn't have been probably any more to him if he had tried. Now bouncing up steeply in the hands, the middle of the field. Nashu now going out to Frank Vainuku. He's got one assist in this match, wants to try himself. He's going to be dragged down by the Fijian defence, and Josefa Talatholo, another penalty awarded to New Zealand. Dylan Collier takes the quick tap. Fiji now scrambling in defence. They're looking to shift it out to the right-hand side here, New Zealand. Collier Rockily Soa offload on the inside to Brady Rush. That will be the second try of the match right at the end of the first half for New Zealand. And that is a crucial time to be scoring it. Now, I do want to mention, though, Fiji were down by 12 points up against Argentina. They went on to win that game by 7. So no matter what the margin is, Fiji are always in a game up until that final whistle. But that was a good time. Oh, I put full time. That's my mistake. It's not full time. Don't believe that. Hang on. Got to remove it. Half-time. Oh, I spelled half wrong because I was panicking, but I'd rather have it spelt wrong just for now than have full-time up there when it's not. There we go. We fixed it now. And let's go, says Fork, and no worries, says Dylan, and Rady Rush. Ready to cut back on the inside was top shelf, says Studs Rays. Yeah, a lot of these Kiwis, they've been playing together for a long time. They're on the same page at times. Shot clock using up as many seconds as he can here for a Kulia Rokalisoa. And now that is going to be halftime in this contest. 14 points to 7 in favour of New Zealand. Fiji, they are currently sitting as $2.40 underdogs in this matchup. I do see at halftime we have got there, let's go New Zealand, says Martin. And I say, yay, says Ruby. And there as well. But currently second half, still around the corner, let's go New Zealand, says Moss. But it is very handy to have that extra little bit of a lead. No worries, all in the game, says Akta there, and easy money, says Martin. You know, this game far from over. $1,000 bet come at me, baby. And hopefully New Zealand score first in the second half, close it out, make it a double. Trans-Tasman final, says Jasmine. Yeah, would be thoroughly impressive for New Zealand and Australia. We have got their... No. Is that Finianofo? Is that the... No, that might not be from... Oh, finish. No, halftime. In this contest, still another 7 minutes remaining. In this contest, I did put the wrong thing up for half a second, which is why I tried to remove it very quickly. It should be an easy 20-minute profit, says Martin. See, Sevens is unpredictable, though. So it's very hard to tell whether or not it is secure at this point in time. Whether it's still just a late tail in this tape. Go Fiji, go, says Integrated Plumbing Work. Yeah, impact players off the bench for the Fijians. They have got Taria Valawa. They have got Narongo, who's actually scored himself a couple tries throughout this competition. Vunaki is a big, powerful ball runner. Sanila and Vakadranu, the last man off the bench for the Fijians. For New Zealand, they have got a few handy players there too. Sione Molia, like I mentioned, Riley Williams there, Jaden Keelan, Fletcher Morgan, and also Kelly Lasunga, who can be a real game changer. We saw it, I believe, in the Bunnings NPC. I want to say we got to see the first time that he was in action. Depends who scores first in the second half. Yeah, if New Zealand scored now and convert, they would be very close to winning this game. But once again, Fiji, out of every side in the world of rugby sevens, if a team had to come back from like a 20-point margin, you'd back in Fiji every day of the week. Depends who scored first in the second half. And New Zealand showing their technique and stamina. Oh, that one's going to be over-kicked a little bit. It's going to be the line-out throw here now for New Zealand after Fiji getting a fingertip to it. Love a New Zealand versus Fiji match. I wish it was the final, I'll be honest. I love seeing these two sides playing off for the gold, but playing off in a semi is still just as great. It has been a very entertaining match so far. Have a better chance of winning money on slot machines than betting on 7, says Ruby. And also we've got there Tosa Fiti Toso, says Akta, and Tosa Fiji, says Salman. Rokalisoa ready to throw this ball in for the Kiwis. Going into the front, taken by Dylan Collier. Cross to the right-hand side in the middle of the field. Brady Rush breaking the line again. Brilliant step from him, but he's going to be dragged down about 10 metres out from the try line. Now going off to the left, New Zealand wide. Dylan Collier scores. That is not the start to the second half that Fiji were after, as they now go down by 12 with the kick to come. Once again, though, they've been down by 12 in this competition before and came back. So I still don't trust that Fiji won't be able to find their way back into this somehow. Go Fiji Sevens, says Chris there. Would be scary if the South African Sevens a fine form like their Springbok colleagues. Surprised South Africa's not in the semi. To be fair, they were in a really tough group. You know, France, Fiji, as well as Argentina. Sadly, two of those great sides needed to miss out. They all could have been in the semis, to be fair, like in terms of skill level. They all have more than enough ability to be through. But yeah, only two could advance. In the new format, that one's going to be kicked and missed away to the side for New Zealand. 19 points to 7 at this point in time. Let's go, Black. Says Wasasala. Hopefully I've said that correctly. And also we've got there, sounds like I heard those words yesterday, says Ruby. Dylan Collier, the veteran for the Kiwis, getting himself the try. It's kicked off high by New Zealand. This one's not going to go 10. So it means that Fiji have been given the lifeline round their halfway line. How do you know, as a player or a coach, that a player is more suited for 7s or 15s rugby? Just preference? Most of those guys start in 7s, and then from there, like they get sculpted into a 15s player, similar to what we've seen for the likes of a Leroy Carter. How they worked out, he had great skill in 7s, but also had a very good chance of being a great union player. So sometimes it just depends on who the coach is as to whether or not they're willing to give up their their big players, but we've seen some great players from Union go to Sevens and perform. And we've also seen some guys from Sevens go to Union and be world class. Artie Savio, I believe, actually started his career playing in Rugby Sevens. Now George Balsey, ball on the inside to Josefa Talatholo. Williams trying to make the tackle. That is such a mismatch of size. And Williams wasn't sure whether or not he wanted to make that tackle. Now Fiji running towards the try line. They've got a 2-on-1 on the outside. In fact, it's going to become a 2-on-none. And Fiji score the try. Vuiviwa Nadovalo gets another double in this competition. And Fiji, they are straight back in the game. You can never count this Fijian side out. If you do, then it is a massive risk. And Kwaka the Sevens King, so much for Fiji being favourites. Says Bigru, well, they've just scored. And they're back in the game once again. Your preview is on point. Fiji do struggle in the middle of the game, which costed them the French game, says Moss. And yeah, it's actually when New Zealand was struggling up against Spain as well. But then I think that was also because they took their foot off the gas. But if Fiji can score throughout this middle period, that kick has gone over too. So 19 points to 14 between these two sides. Just the 5 points separating them. Nadovalo sitting at the top of the bunch alongside Marcos Moneta for tries scored. And go Fiji go, says Reina there. And don't make me lose my $1,000. I am shaking, bro, says Martin. I'll always be a Union boy. This feels like there's more tactics and focus. And this game seems to have taken a long time. Even including the injuries, says Starts Race. Definitely compared to that match taking place between France and Australia. That one just absolutely flew by. And don't worry, lad, New Zealand going to score. Well, they've just dropped that ball and Fiji back in possession. Talathola, couldn't quite get his offload away. 3 minutes now remaining on the clock. Patience as Fiji will bounce back. They are trying their absolute best at the moment. And like I said, 12 points down for Fiji. They normally make that up in only a few minutes if they find their momentum. Big fend in from Narongo. Now stepping is Vailawa. It is Vunaki now. Moving up to 22 metres out from the line. New Zealand looking for the steal and the breakdown. They give away the penalty. Fiji get themselves the quick tap. And Fiji won. There's a trivia question. Wonder how long the longest Sevens game ever was? That's a very good trivia question. I have absolutely no idea. I know that the finals used to be 10-minute halves rather than the 7 minutes. Now off to the right-hand side. Vuiviwa Nadovalo passes one more. Now, Talafolo running it sideways. Go Fiji, go, says Gian. And I say Fiji will definitely win, says Reina. Well, they've taken the momentum now. And they feel like they've got a really good chance. Skip pass out to Vuiviwa Nadovalo. Mr. X Factor for this Fijian side. He has been creating all of the chances throughout this match. Josefa Talatholo steps through. Good tackle made by Williams. Now off to the left-hand side, Fiji with the captain, Jeremiah Matana. Here comes the big man, Vunaki. Fends off one, 10 metres out from the line. New Zealand trying to defend. Here comes Vuiviwa Nadovalo, the hat-trick hero for the Fijians. He gets himself another one. He may have got injured in the process, but now Fiji, guess who are now back in this game and potentially have the opportunity to take the lead in this matchup. Go Fiji, go, says Reina. And this is probably the best we've seen Fiji look during the middle patch of a game as well. Super spicy game now, says Jasmine. And Fiji, your time is now. Let's go, says Telpak. But Vuiviwa Nadovalo, he's got to take a bow here. 5 tries throughout the Dubai Sevens. That kick has gone over. Fiji leading now with 90 seconds left on the clock. And in Sevens, they are going to be kicking it off as well. Vakadranu making his way on. Fiji all over New Zealand. New Zealand cannot get out of their own half. New Zealand drop the ball here. Tosaviti says Ratu, and let's go the All Blacks. Says Dale, go Will Jordan, says Jason. At least the Blackford Sevens are in the final, says Jasmine there. And tomorrow, Viti Tosso. But now, tell you what, Jasmine, at least Blackford Sevens are in the final. That sounds like you're counting New Zealand completely out with 90 seconds remaining. Now this one's going to be kicked up high. Nicely taken by Brady Rush under the high ball. In fact, that would have been Sione Molia that time. New Zealand now with the ball in hand. Dylan Collier, cross to the right-hand side. Still plenty of time remaining, almost sneaking through. It's going to be a penalty for a high tackle, or at least an advantage anyway. Whatever you say, don't say, well, yeah. Tosaviti says Ratu, now ball on the outside. Pass in again here for New Zealand. Chance to pass it inwards for Lasanga. New Zealand moving up to 25 metres out from the try line. This is their chance to be able to get back into the game with only moments remaining on the clock. Now, 10 metres out, 30 seconds remaining for New Zealand to find a way back and book themselves a spot through to the final. It's a great step from Lasanga, gives it to Molia, 25 seconds remaining now. But in the breakdown, I thought Jeremiah Matana almost was going to get the steal. New Zealand have done this to many sides, scoring right at the last moment. But the question is, can they do it up against a world-class side like Fiji? Offload, and they will score in the corner. Brady Rush manages to score it in the closing moment of the game, in New Zealand, just like they have to many opposition, are going to steal it in the final moment of the contest. And they will be... TMO check. There's something that's happened. This might determine the game here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. By the sounds of it, Fiji. Okay, direct contact to the head from a Fijian player. This might actually be Fiji going to the bin and perhaps having one less player for the later stages of the competition. TMO will decide if we get a double New Zealand versus Aussies or not. But yeah, I think this is actually going to be against the Fijians. They're seeing if there's direct contact to the head. That's a hard shot on Keelan. He was dipping down, so this may be just a yellow card, but this is not going to impact the fact that New Zealand just scored. It's just going to impact whether or not Fiji have all their players for the next contest. There is foul play. High level of danger. The recommendation is a red card. So that means that Whakadranu, it is Vunaki. I mentioned how he has been a bit of a penalty magnet at times, but he is going to be sent off the field with the red. And New Zealand, with that last minute try, they get themselves the win in this contest, 24 points to 21. It will be Fiji versus France in the third place playoff, and New Zealand versus Australia in the final, in both the men and the women. And red card, says Wasasala. Yeah, it's an ugly collision there. And Keelan was ducking down a little bit, but he still got smashed in that shot. And nicely finished off by Brady Rush, I should say. I like cheese sausages, says Jason. Fair enough. And a double whammer, says Cooper there. And also we have got the easy shmoney, says Fork in there. Tell you what, there would have been some nerves going though near the end of that game, I am absolutely sure. But a 3-point win for the Kiwis. They will be making their way through to the final now to take on Australia in about 5 hours' time. But the next game for the Fijians, for anyone wondering about who they will be playing, they will be going head-to-head up against the French. So that is actually a rematch of a match that we did see in the group stage. And that was actually the only game of the group stage that we didn't cover on the channel. So that's kind of cool that we do get to see those two sides play. But the next game, it is going to be taking place for the men at 4:03 a.m. is when France are playing Fiji, and Australia versus New Zealand in the final is taking place at 5:10 a.m. And the Bok, they are playing up against Spain at 2:06 a.m. playing for the 5th place playoff match. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We will get those live streams scheduled in hopefully the very near future as well. So be sure to check that out, and I will see you all for the next one.